Hello and welcome to another edition of the Bastard Review. This week I'm looking at ECW's Return of the Funker. Return of the Funker took place in the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on February 25th, 1995. We start off the night with the Pitbulls taking on Chad Austin and Joel Goodhart. This was an okay match. There wasn't much offense from Chad or Joel. It was very one-sided. The Pitbulls got some good moves, but this really didn't do anything for me. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. After that, Raven with Stevie Richards comes down to ringside to be interviewed by Joey Styles. I like how Raven cuts promos. He's very poetic. The only bad thing, well, it's kind of funny. The audience is booing and shouting obscenities the whole time he's trying to wax poetic. Things pick up more, though, when Tommy Dreamer comes down and the two of them collide. After that, it's Mikey Whipwreck and Hack Myers taking on Jason Knight and Paul Laria. This was a pretty good match. There was a lot of back and forth action, and both teams utilized each other very well. They did a lot of good tag team moves. The ending was kind of disappointing, but it didn't really take away from the match. My only real regret is that I probably won't find out who the masked man who attacked Hack Myers is, but it doesn't make a difference. A totally adequate tag team match. I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. Up next, we have Too Cold Scorpio versus Hector Guerrero. Hector is the brother of Eddie Guerrero and part of the very famous Guerrero family from Mexico. This was just a really great match. I really liked this match. There was a lot of back and forth action. There were some funny moments with Guerrero hamming it up. Just watching Too Cold do the 450-degree splash is a thing of beauty. It's not something to be missed. I highly recommend seeking this video out just for this match alone. And if you want to see it, I can send you the links. Just give me an email. After that, Ian Rotten yet again takes on his brother Axel Rotten. This was supposed to be a barbed wire bat on a pole match, but Ian grabbed the barbed wire bat before they could put it up on the pole and attacked the official and called out his brother. This was another bloodbath, just like the last one before it. So if you're squeamish, you definitely don't want to watch this match. This one was a little better than the last one. They didn't go out into the crowd as much. They kept to the ring, which I liked. You know, when wrestlers go into the crowd, the cameraman has to work just that much harder to get all of the action on camera. Just stay out of the crowd. I realize that you want to include them in the match itself. And ECW is notorious for having the wrestlers go out into the crowd. And that's fine, just not every match. Getting the blood flowing, I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. The next match was Marty Jannetty taking on Shane Douglas for the ECW World Heavyweight title. This was a great match. This is what a title match should feel like. When I first went into this, I thought, Marty Jannetty doesn't stand a chance. Shane Douglas is going to come out on top. But during the match, so many times Marty went to pin Shane, it started to convince me that Marty might have a chance at winning this. And as the match progressed and progressed, I kept thinking more and more, oh man, Marty might win. Just a really great title match. I highly recommend watching this. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. As a side note, I did some homework, and it looks like Marty only had 2 matches in ECW. And that's a real shame. I don't know if he left of his own accord or they just didn't have anything for him, but I would have found something for him because he's a really good wrestler. And he proves it in this match. Next up, Public Enemy come down to cut a promo with Rocco Rock in a wheelchair, and then they get attacked by Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko. And then Malenko and Benoit get attacked by Sabu and Taz, and the match begins as Benoit and Malenko take on Sabu and Taz for the ECW Tag Team titles. This was an okay match. Both teams have had a rivalry going on for a while, so it was exciting to see them finally face off, especially for the titles. The mechanics of the match didn't feel choreographed very well, and while both teams had very good interaction, the ending was kind of lackluster. It's kind of apparent that Benoit and Malenko are supposed to be the heels in this match, especially since Sabu and Taz are beloved by the crowd. But neither man did any heelish tactics to gain the win. At one point, Taz gets injured. I don't know whether it's storyline injured or legitimately injured. And 911, who came down with Sabu and Taz along with Paulie Dangerously, has to carry him to the back, I guess, to get looked at. And that leaves Sabu prone to a team-up by Benoit and Malenko. And it kind of feels like they're saying the only way Benoit and Malenko can win the titles is if they gang up on one of the opponents while the other one is incapacitated. And that's kind of heelish. I'm interested to see where they go with this, whether Sabu and Taz challenge again for the tag team titles, or if Public Enemy get another chance at the titles. I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. Finally, we come to the main event of the night. Now, Sandman was supposed to wrestle, but he wasn't cleared by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission, so he had to choose a replacement, and him and his valet woman come down to discuss with Joey Styles who that replacement's going to be. I bet you're dying to know who the replacement is. Why, it's none other than DC Drake. Wait a minute, who? Drake spent all of his career in the tri-state independent wrestling circuit. He never got much further than that, and because of injuries, he decided to retire. As a match, this is pretty lame. The only thing that saves it is what comes after the match, and that's the return of Terry Funk to ECW. Now, I won't spoil the ending for you. I'll simply say that it's a good way to end the night, and it continues the Sandman and Cactus Jack feud. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. Overall, Return of the Funker is a very good event. You have something for everyone, and there's not much here that really disappoints. I'd recommend this to anyone who's an ECW fan or a fan of wrestling in general. I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. Thank you for listening, and please tune in to the next Bastard Review when I review another wrestling DVD or video in my collection.